Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Jayo Gopijana Balaba Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Gopijana Balaba Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gora Bhaktivedanta Jaya Jai Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajacharya Stotarata Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajacharya Stotarata Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrind ki Jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, Shri Guru, Gauranga Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This morning we're reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto number 6, Chapter number 3, entitled Yamaraja Instructs His Messengers, and text number 17. Tasyatmatantrasya harerhadisitu situ. Tasyatmatantrasya harerhadisitu. Parasya mayadipater mahatmanaha. Parasya mayadipater mahatmanaha. Prayena dutta hiyavai manoharash. Prayena dutta hiyavai manoharash. Charanti tatrupa gunasvabhavaha. Charanti tatrupa gunasvabhavaha. Tasyatmatantrasya hareradishituhu. Parasya mayadipater mahatmanaha. Prayena dutta hiyavai manoharash. Charanti tatrupa gunasvabhavaha. Tasyatmatantrasya hareradishituhu. Parasya mayadipater mahatmanaha. Prayena hiyavai manoharash. Charanti tatrupa gunasvabhavaha. Tasyatmatantrasya hareradishituhu. Parasya mayadipater mahatmanaha. Rayena Duta Vai Manohara Charanti Tatrupa Gunasvabhava Tasyatmatantrasya Hareradishitu Parasya Maya Dipatir Mahatmanaha Rayena Dutaya Vai Manohara Charanti Tatrupa Gunasvabhava Tasyatmatantrasya Hareradishitu Bhayena Dutta Vai Manoharas Charanti Tatrupa Gunasvabhava Tasyatmatantrasya Hareradishitu Parasya Maya Dipatir Mahatmanaha Ayena Dutaya Vai Manoharas Charanti Tatrupa Gunasvabhava. Word to word meaning. Tasya, of him. Atmatantrasya, being self-sufficient, not dependent on any other person. Hare, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adishituhu, who is the master of everything. Parasya, the transcendence. Maya Adipatehe, the master of the illusory energy. Maha Atmana, of the Supreme Soul. Prayena, almost. Duta, the order carriers. Iha, in this world. Why? Indeed. Manoharaha, pleasing in their dealings and bodily features. Charanti, they move. Tat, of him. Rupa, possessing the bodily features. Guna, the transcendental qualities. Swabhava, and nature. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-sufficient and fully independent. He is the master of everyone and everything, including the illusory energy. He has his form, qualities and features. Similarly, his order carriers, the Vaishnavas, who are very beautiful, possesses bodily features, transcendental qualities, and a transcendental nature almost like his. They always wander within this world with full independence. Purport. Yamaraja was describing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, but the order carriers of Yamaraja were very eager to know about the Vishnu Dutas, who had defeated them in their encounter with Ajamila. Yamaraja therefore stated that the Vishnu Dutas resemble the Supreme Personality of Godhead in their bodily features, transcendental qualities and nature. In other words, the Vishnu Dutas or Vaishnavas are almost as qualified as the Supreme Lord. Yamaraja informed the Yamadutas that the Vishnu Dutas are no less powerful than the Lord Vishnu. Since Vishnu is above Yamaraj, the Vishnu Dutas are above the Yamadutas. Persons protected by the Vishnu Dutas therefore cannot be touched by the Yamadutas. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shudadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Obeisance to all Vaishnavas assembled here. We speak from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam for our own purification. It's a very interesting and very dramatic section in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, this whole episode. So this is Yamaraj addressing to Yamadutas. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we have stories, but Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is like multi-level stories. We heard of multi-level stories. Why? Because if you see here, this is the chapter begins with Parikshit Maharaj asking question about what did Yamaraj reply to Yamadutas, which they encountered Yamadutas and Vishnudutas. So it's like multi-level storyline, if you see. But that's not a problem, because it doesn't matter which level you are, the content is same. It talks about bhakti and establish the supreme position of Krishna and the devotional service to him. So that is Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is like that fruit which is seedless and no skin. And it compares in the first chapter in the first canto, they compare the whole Vedic literature as a tree. The whole Vedic, whatever you see. And this is one of the question also. The question by the sages is, can you tell us the essence of scripture? There are variety of scriptures. What is the essence of scriptures? We have so many books, so many Puranas, so many Itihas, so many Vedas, so many things are there. What is the essence? Because we don't have time, we don't have memory, we don't have lifetime, we don't have duration, we don't have any good qualities in Kali Yuga, basically. Just come to the point, what is the essence? So this is a question of the sages. And if you see, that whole Vedic literature is compared to the tree. And Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the essence of the tree is the fruit. And that Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the fruit of the Vedic literature, and which doesn't have any skin or any seed. So it doesn't matter wherever you bite, it tastes the same, sweet and nectar. So that's why, even though it has a multi-level of discussion going on same subject matter, explaining by different personalities, but still we don't miss the thread. We don't miss the point that the Supreme Lord has been glorified by many devotees. So that's why, even though many speakers speaking every single day and single verse, we know the point that our devotion increases by hearing regular attendance to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, because that's how the heart is purified and our devotion to Krishna increases. So here, coming back to this episode, to order to understand this verse particularly, this verse is one of the answers to the question asked by the Yamadutas, because they, and basically the chapter begins with Parikshit Maharaj asking questions to Sukadev Goswami, which is connection to the previous chapter 22nd verse. Because if you see, most of the even Arjuna, or this theme is very prevalent in Gaudiya Vaishnava, that during the conversation they speak something, and then the listener picks up a particular point. Can you explain that alone, because you just went little fast, or can you like magnify that portion, So what the previous, what happened is, Sukadeva Goswami said that Yamadutas went to Yamaraj, and then he said whatever the whole thing happened, and then he went point. Then now Parikshit Maharaj is asking, can you tell me what did Yamaraj tell, What did he do? What did he tell when the Yamadutas went and approached and told about the whole episode of capturing Ajamil, and Vishnuduta came and then cut the ropes and released him. So the Yamadutas went, now we'll discuss the situation of Yamadutas, and then we'll discuss the situation of Yamaraj, and then we'll discuss the answer which Yamaraj gives. So if we understand the context, then we can appreciate this verse and this section more nicely. So now we see the situation of Yamadutas. So this is, first is a dishonor. Dishonor, the person who has been honored, a dishonor is worse than death. We know that from Bhagavad Gita. Now, if you see from the perspective of whether person is spiritual or not, two things are very agreeable on both the side, that these things what we gain is temporary, and the permanent thing, or the for sure it's going to happen, is death. As sure as death, that's what say. The success rate of death is 100%, and the probability you're going to get is 100%. You will not, one of the future prediction we can tell everyone is that you're going to die. Very simple. And death is going to come. Death is for sure, 100%. Now, the situation of Yamadutas, you please understand that they have never faced a defeat in their career. They've not seen a defeat at all. And they know, but this is death. Yamaraj is death personified. Yamadutas are death personified. They're coming to kill you, basically. And they know that everyone is going to die. And they are not, see, after all, if you are in the material world, that whatever codes, whatever you follow, whatever you do, at the end of the day, you're going to die. And this is given by my controller, who is for sure is a death personified person. He's going to award the death. So obviously, he must be the supreme controller in this material world, because who can deny death? And they are representing the Yamaraj, who is the in charge of death, who is the human resource department, right? He makes the balance sheet right at the end of the day. So then Yamadutas going, and they are completely puzzled. They are completely bewildered. They are completely couldn't able to digest the fact that someone escaped death. It's like bewildering. It's like, so for example, even in material world, if someone has a near-death experience or out-of-body experience, or went to the clinically dead, and they come alive, people come in the newspaper, or people how can you do this? They get interviewed, they get fascinated. They do a documentary on them, because no one can escape death, and it is never seen like this. So that's what the Yamadutas have faced when they went. And they get defeated. They taste the bitter fruit of the first defeat in their life, which is too much. And Ajamil, they know the records, the fact, the charge sheet, the FIR, whatever you call, It shows the list of all the problems, all the sinful activities, and they have got the full evidence, and they have got the full rights to kill him, everything, but then he escaped. Now, that is something which, made them like really anger. They are very much anger. And not only that, because when the Vishnu Dutas were speaking, more of them, they're pointing out that this is your fault from your master's side. Or he didn't tell you, like, in terms of, where have you guys been? You don't know what you're doing here. Just get out. Like, so they were being insulted. They couldn't. They were being dishonored, and they've been defeated. So, and they got a lot of doubt about their roles and responsibilities now. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing correct? What I'm supposed to do? So like they got a lot of confusion. And now their problem, now the thing is, they are no more concerned with Ajamil anymore. Forget about Ajamil now. Now they went to speak up Ajamil, and they went and they encountered with Vishnu Dutas. Now their focus is not Ajamil. Now their focus is who these guys are, who these Vishnu Dutas are. First let us fix these Vishnu Dutas, then we'll come back to Ajamil. Ajamil is always like a bail, Is always going to be come back because we have that fact. But now these people who have come in the middle, like sometimes, in the movie or something you go, like a villain or something sends 4 or 5 people to attack a person or something, and then all of a sudden hero comes. Now the whole plot and twist changes. Now who this guy actually in between he came? That character is gone from the movie. The character now is the hero who rescued the people from the villain. Now the fight is between the villain and the hero. The original script was between someone who, is a third party now. Now the problem is who these people are. What is this? What is their problem? Who are they? Why they came? So this is what their focus is. Their focus is changed. And their mind is filled with these beautiful, powerful people. And they just, spoil the whole thing. It's just, bewildering. With that mindset, they are approaching Yamaraj. They want to challenge, actually. They want to challenge, and they would want to doubt. And eventually, they want to quit. Not just the job. They want to finish their life. For them, the anger challenging is, now my master should punish these people, 4 people, before punishing Ajamil. My master should order that I need to go them, bring these 4 people, punish them, finish it off, then we'll go to Ajamil, finish the punishment, reward. So that's their mood. They're challenging. And they've said, their idea of Yamaraj is like the sun, who is the supreme person, number one, is the only one in this whole creation. But then now they're feeling, no, he is not like a sun, he is like a firefly now. Why would I serve a master who doesn't have power? So then they're with this full mentality and everything, they just gave a very loaded sarcasm question to Yamaraj. Fully loaded. Like imagine, you're in the boss, you're sitting in a chair, and someone walking in straight away, coming, bang, door, come first. First question asking, can you tell me who is the boss? Boss? They're not even telling you are the boss. Can you tell me who is the boss? Who is the person here? Who is the boss here? I want to know. Like you go into the CEO of the company and then you go knock it and then ask him this question. Can you tell me who is the boss here? Before anything he could answer, what they did is, this is a classical example of philosophical speculation. We heard about speculation, but in Bhagavad Gita also, some of the chapters like the Jnana section or the 14th chapter onwards, Prabhupada also recommend that you need to understand this knowledge by philosophical speculation. Philosophical speculation means that coming to the right conclusion of what is given in the scripture. If you can able to pull up that fact or puzzle together and come to the right conclusion, then that speculation is bona fide. But if your speculation doesn't backed up by the conclusion given in the scripture, then that is mental speculation or illusion or whimsical of your mind. So that's where the differentiation is there. And this is a classic example of philosophical speculation. How do they come to that conclusion? So they have the sarcasm question, and then they have a philosophical speculation, and they come to the conclusion. So now when they have that sarcasm question, and then the Yamaduta is saying, so you told something which we went to do, and there were other people who are coming to do something. So then they were saying, I can understand that there are many controllers. We understand that. Because there are many living entities, there are different types of living entities according to the three modes of material nature, and then you need some kind of departments to manage that. We understand that there are many controllers, but these many controllers, then what happened? Either a person get, like a reward or punishment that contradicts, he will not get anything, or he will get double. If many controllers, many justices are there, for example, then what happened? Someone is getting punished, and then someone said, no, he has to be rewarded. Then that contradicts, and then that gone. Or otherwise, someone say punish, and another person also punish. Then the person will get double punishment or double reward. We see that if a lower level court gets you punishment, then we go to the higher court, and they say, okay, no punishment. And then they go to higher court, they get punishment. Keep going. By the time they go to the final supreme, the life is finished. Anyway, so, but that nature doesn't work like that. The Yamaduta said that we know there are many controllers, that is not a problem, but what we came to know or where we conclude is there has to be a supreme controller. And not only that supreme controller, you are not the supreme controller. So this is like a double blow to Yamaraj. So they were saying, we know that many controllers are, you are one of the controller. There has to be a supreme controller, and that supreme controller, you are not that supreme controller, we came to know. So that's how they have come to, understanding. Okay, there's something happening here. So that is philosophical speculation, because they came to know that supreme, there has to be one person in charge. There's a supreme justice where everyone is following. And they came to know that you are not that supreme controller because their order has not been executed, which Yamaraj gave to them. So, now, and then what happened? So earlier where they went to Ajamil, their focus was Ajamil, and then they came across this Vishnu Duta. Then their focus changed from Ajamil to Vishnu Duta. Now their focus is not Vishnu Dutas, their focus is who is that supreme controller? I want to know. So this is like, going to the root cause of the problem. This is amazing because, the Bhagavatam or the scripture, they are not very superficial in one sense. They are not just say, okay, fine, this happened, okay, let us move on. Interesting story, okay, let's go, have fun. But this is like something which we can apply in our life as well. They are not stopping there. They want to know to the very core detail of what is and who is, because they want to know the cause of all causes. This is how our philosophy is. We want to know who is the cause of all causes. Who is that supreme person? Why? What is the cause? So they want to know who is the supreme controller. We want to know. Getting to the root of the problem. So now they change from Ajamil to Vishnu Duta to the supreme controller. And then that they know very well that you are not that supreme controller. You are not the supreme controller. So they have this kind of challenging mentality, and they are doubting, and they're a little bit angry. And then they say, who are these people? Where do they live? What do they do? Who are these people? Because for them, they want their master to punish these 4 people. So they said, either you punish these people or we're going to give up our life. We have only 2 options. Either you chastise them or punish them, or we're going to live up this life. But before we give up our life, we want to know the details of these people. We are not just going to, give up. So that is why is more upsetting is for the Yamadutas. If you see, as they were going to Ajamil and they have all the rights, all the valid points to get him the job done, the Vishnu Dutas has appeared just because they're just elaborating, or they're just speaking to Yamaraj. They said, we were going, and this Ajamil said Narayan, and these people appeared from nowhere. And they came and they said, do not fear, do not fear. So this is like, man, wait a second. This is what Yamadutas are going through. This guy is sitting, fear, and he has done all the sinful activities, everything, and he's fully fear. And this guy is saying, hey, do not fear, we'll take care. It's like, exactly like, you're going to some place or to get someone, for example, in India or in our place is very common, like if some people gang going to beat someone or something, and then when they're going to about to beat or something, punish, then the other gang going, hey, we'll take care, do not fear, I'll take. Who are you? Get out. And then that becomes like an insulting thing. Come on, wait, this is like a complete paradox for them. This guy is fully fear, we came here, we are fully, And one of the reason is they said to Yamaraj that these people are very attractive. So the Acharyas or the Prabhupada also write, that seems that the Yamadutas are not very attractive. So then they went and this guy said, do not fear, do not fear. It's like for them, it becomes like a life or death. Either you get these guys punished or I'm going to die. I cannot take this anymore. But I want to know who these people are. So then, this is the questions they are asking. Who these people, where are they from, what are they doing, what are their activities are. We want to know. Then we will give. Now, coming to Yamaraj. So, Yamaraj was not giving it back equally. He was not acting like a materialistic leader in terms of victimizing the person who who raised the issue, and they get, if someone raised the issue, we don't scold them. How did you find? Why did you find? Can you do your work properly? So he was a perfect leader because he was absorbing everything. This is like a good leader. We see time and again that anything goes wrong, he takes the responsibility or credit for that. But anything goes good, he passes it on to the team. So then here Yamaraj, if you see, first is we should not be taking sides here. We should understand Yamaraj is also a Vishnu Duta in one sense. Vishnu Duta is the carriers of Vishnu, is that right? Duta means messenger or the carriers. Because everyone playing their roles and part in the creation. And Vishnu Dutas are carrying the messengers. Similarly, Yamaraj is also a great Mahajan. He is also Vishnu Duta because he is carrying the orders of Krishna in the universal maintenance and creation. In that sense, he is also a great Vaishnava. And one of the key lessons is never doubt a bona fide spiritual master. Never doubt. Because the action, we are not in the situation where we can completely comprehend the activities of a pure devotee. We cannot process in our brain, because they are completely transcendental and it looks apparently a mundane activity, but they are in completely different platform. So never doubt a bona fide spiritual master. Because if you see, Yamaraj was not angry, but he was repentful. He was feeling bad, the sense that I couldn't able to tell the full knowledge or full information of who that person are, who they are. In fact, when the Yamadutas told that Ajamil called out the name Narayan, that created a trance or ecstatic in Yamaraj when he heard Narayan. So when they said Narayan, then Yamaraj's reply was, "Did you say Narayan? Did you just say Narayan?" So many things they said. But the first thing is, Yamaraj, did you say Narayan? That's amazing, that's glorious. So he knows exactly what to do. One of the snippet I was just listening to Nitai Sevani Mataji. She was saying, you should know what to do when you don't know what to do. You should know what to do when you don't know what to do. So that means she's saying you should take the shelter of the Lord. That's what you have to do. You should know when things come up where you don't know what to do. So here if you see Yamaraj, he was repentful, he was feeling sorry for these people, that they were not able to, they were in ignorance or they don't know. I mean, he was repenting that I should have given more, I should have told them. And he was happy in a sense that Narayan, did you say Narayan? He is the Supreme Lord. How does a Vaishnava react? So this is a lesson from Yamaraj. A Vaishnava react, it sees the opportunity where he can glorify the Supreme Lord, and he begs forgiveness for the offense created by this people or his disciple or his dependents. Even the same Supreme Lord who, in the third canto, if you see the 4 Kumaras and the Jayan Vijay, he came and he glorified the Vaishnava, the 4 Kumaras, and he begged forgiveness for the offense created by someone else on their behalf. This is such an amazing gesture by the Supreme Lord. So same here, Yamaraj, he is glorifying the Supreme Lord. And then he is feeling that these people have committed offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnavas and the Supreme Lord. That will be a greater replication than whatever this whole scenario is happened. So he was feeling so bad. And then he was saying to answer to that question of who these people are, where I can see, where are they? So he started explaining. The first thing is Yamaraj saying, very straightforward, not beating the bush. It's not like, there are many controllers, I have certain powers and there are many are there. Certain area I have power, don't worry, I'll fix it. No, he's not beating the bush here. He's just coming to the point. Yes, you said Narayan. Yes, he is the supreme person. Not only that, me or Brahma or Shiva or Indra or Vayu, any demigod. You see any department, we are all department controllers. We are not the supreme controllers. Demigod, the great rishis, the sadhus, the saints and the devatas, everyone has to obey the law given by the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the supreme. There is no doubt about it. Krishna is the supreme controller. Straight to the point. Straightforward he told them. And there he didn't feel bad about that. He was feeling happy because he could have an opportunity to preach the glory of the Supreme Lord to the people. So that's what Yamaraj is doing. First, he said, there is a supreme controller, his name is Krishna, and all are departmental controllers. We are not the supreme. And not only that, everyone is acting according to the words given by the Supreme Lord in the Vedas. Every living entity according to the modes of material nature, where the Varna and Ashram is there, and they're acting according to the words, which is nothing but the given in Vedas by the Supreme Lord. prescribed duties are given. And that what makes them bound, the name and the action, or the varna and the activities, is actually cause bound. It's a bounding according to the activities. But the same activities, a prescribed duties, is performed for the pleasure of the Vishnu. That's where it's sacrifice. 3rd chapter Bhagavad Gita, we know. Sacrifice is born out of prescribed duties. And rain, it comes from sacrifice, yajna, and then grain comes from rain. And that grain is again offered. Otherwise, you will eating very much sin. So we talk about that discussion there in 3rd chapter. So the prescribed duty is given. So then when that prescribed duty is performed, or for the glorification, or only for the purpose of liberation, this is again 1st canto, that dharma has to be performed for liberation. Occupation has to be performed, or dharma, religion has to be followed only for the purpose of liberation. If it's not meant for material opulence or material gain, dharma should never be performed for material gain or for sense gratification. So that whatever occupation or whatever, when we say, okay, we have senses, that has to be for self-preservation. Right? Sense gratification or money or material gain or opulence, everything is meant for self-preservation. That means to keep the body and soul together. Otherwise, dharma has to be performed for liberation. So here then he says, these are the activities, the whole, everyone is controlled by these activities. And he gives an example, a classic example of the eyes in the whole body. We have the limbs, different limbs cannot see the eyes, but actually the eye gives the direction to go forward by the limbs. That is the position of the super soul, the Supreme Lord. So basically he is answering the question, where do I see? That answer is, he is present like the super soul. You cannot see him. How can we understand Krishna? How can we see Krishna? Not by material senses. He gives an example of the eyes, is a very particular, very nice example. And he gives another example, like the cloth. You see a cloth, you see this cloth is there, but then if you see the very fabric of this cloth is the thread which is running horizontal and vertical. That is the Supreme Lord. In same Bhagavad Gita we see, Mata Paratamanyat Kinchidasi Dhananjaya, Sutre Manigana Iva. That you see the pearls, but you don't see the thread which is running, behind that pearls, which is holding that pearls. Similarly, the cloth, if it's formed because there is the thread which is running parallelly and vertically. So similarly, that's the Supreme Lord. You cannot see him. So he is giving the example, who is that person? What is his action, activities? And how can you see? Everything is telling. So this is another strategy of explaining things. We see this in, sometimes, that in order to explain, you explain the known object very well, and then finally you say this object equal to that. That means A equal to B, B equal to C, that implies A equal to C. So this is the logic. So Yamaraj started explaining about Vishnu or the Lord Vishnu. He is all pervading. He is a super soul, but you cannot see him. But he is present everywhere. He is like the eyes. He is giving the rules or the codes or the religion. And that's how everyone is acting according to their modes. And he is the supreme controller. Everyone is bowing to them. Now, in this verse, he is saying, those Vishnu Dutas are as good as Vishnu. So don't think Vishnu Dutas are normal people. Vishnu Dutas are worshipped by the Devatas who are running the material affairs. So Yamaraj educating the Yamadutas, at the same time a subtle chastisement, at the same time he is trying to make them aware of the serious offense they were committed. So everything is happening by just explaining these verses. So this verse, now if you read this verse, he's saying, so he is glorifying. So this verse and the next verse, he is giving some qualities for the Vishnu Dutas. He is explaining the Vishnu the first two lines of this verse, and the next two lines about the qualities of the Vishnu Dutas. And the next verse is only the qualities of the Vishnu Dutas. So he's saying the Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-sufficient and fully independent. Swarad, Abhignya Swarad. This is how the Bhagavatam is starting. The Supreme Lord is Swarad, is independent and all cognizant. He knows everything and he is independent. He is not dependent. So he is completely self-sufficient, Atmaram. He is fully independent. He is the master of everyone and everything, including the illusionist. So he is basically, we know from Bhagavad Gita, he is the master of superior and the inferior energy. Whatever we see, this is a combination of only two, Kshetra and Kshetragyan. 13th chapter. When we see things, there is only two things are there. Only Kshetra, that is a field of activities, and the knower of the field of activities. That's all. The whole creation is done. So then, he is the controller. He has his form, but at the same time, he has a form, quality, and feature. So he's not impersonal. He is pervading everywhere, but at the same time, he has a form. Right? We see that. He is everywhere, at the same time, he is outside and he is inside. He has eyes, legs, hands everywhere, but at the same time, he is present in your heart. He is very, very far, but at the same time, he is very near. Right? So that is Achinta Beda Abeda Tattva. Oneness and difference at the same time. So then, similarly is order carriers. So now you see, whatever explanation was given to the Yamadutas, and then he is comparing the same order carriers also, they are Vaishnavas who are very beautiful, possess bodily features, transcendental qualities, and a transcendental nature almost like his. That is the Supreme Lord. Everything. So we are qualitatively one. We, the living entity, is same, equal to the Supreme Lord in quality, not quantity. In quality, we are same. That's why they are so beautiful. They are so powerful because their bodily feature, when they see, they saw this person is so powerful, is so beautiful, because the same as Vishnu. They are the four arms, they are the Changa, Chakra, Kada, Padma. They are everything, right? So they're beautiful, and they always wander within this world with full independence. So you cannot go and bring him here. So the answer to the question is, I told them they are everywhere. They are totally independent. They are not bound by like this, where we can go and call Ajamil like that, with a rope. They can go anywhere in this three world. They are totally independent. They are not bound by the laws of material nature because they are transcendental. And they are same as the Supreme Lord, and you have offended them. So this is what Yamaraj is trying to tell to. Since Vishnu is above Yamaraj, the Vishnu Dutas are above the Yamadutas. Person protected by the Vishnu Dutas therefore cannot be touched by the Yamadutas. So that's one of the point where Prabhupada bringing that Ajamil was protected by Vishnu Dutas, so that the Yamadutas cannot touch them. So that's how the question is answered in these verses. So I'll just stop here and see if anyone has any questions or comments or correction of what we discussed today. Okay. Kratra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
kamaniya vishesha shobha. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami. Angani yasa sakalem priya priti manti pasyanti panti kayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadhu jala vigrahasya. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami. 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 Govindam
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsam Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna चैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदां सगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha भगवान की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नवाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर।
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Ramana Hare Govinda
Dasamati Nandana Brajabada Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Ramati Nandana Brajabada Nagara Gokula Ranjana Dasamati Nandana Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Dhana Madana Manahara Kaliya Damana Bidhana Gopi Parana Dhana Madana Manahara Kaliya Damana Bidhana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gopi Panana Dhana Kiparana Dhana Madana Manahara Kaliya Damana Bidhana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Mamaya Harinam Amya Vilasa Dipina Purangara Nabina Nagara Mara Manki Magana Sumata Amaya Harinam Amya Vilasa Dipina Purangara Nabina Nagara Bara Manki Magana Sumata Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Jajana Palana Asura Punasana Nanda Godhana Rakhavala Jajana Palana Asura Nanda Godhana Rakhavala Govinda Madhava Navanita Dasanam Govinda Madhava Navanita Dasanam Sundarananda Gopala Govinda Madhava Navanita Dasanam गोविंद माधव नवनीत काकन सुंदर नंद गोपाल दशमति नंदन ब्रज नागर दशमति नंदन ब्रज नागर गोकुल रंजन दशमति नंदन ब्रज नागर गोकुल रंजन राम नटत चरा जामुन तट चरा गोपी बसन हरा दास रसिक चरा गोपी बसन हरा रास रसिक कृपा श्री राधा वल्लभ श्री राधा वल्लभ भक्ति बिना गजसायम श्री राधा वल्लभ श्री राधा वल्लभ भक्ति बिना गजसायम दशमति नंदन ब्रज नागर गोकुल रंजन दशमति नंदन ब्रज नागर गोकुल रंजन गोपी परान धन मदन मनोहर कालिय गमन विधान गोपी परान धन मदन मनोहर कालिय गमन विधान दशमति नंदन ब्रज नागर गोकुल रंजन दशमति नंदन ब्रज नागर गोकुल रंजन बचन हरा रास रसिक कृपा रामुन तट चरा गोपी बचन हरा रास रसिक कृपा श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन Shri Radha Vallabh Vrindavananath Bhaktivedanta Shri Radha Vallabh Vananath Bhaktivedanta Samati Nandana Brajavadanagar Gokula Ranjana Samati Nandana Krishna Kirtana Ganana Karnapatau Premamrita Vanidhi Veera Dhira Jana Tau Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Prabhu Premamritam Vanidhi Veera Veera Jana Priya Priya Karo Nemar Karam Pujitau Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Bhuvi Bhuva Bhara Vahan Tarakau Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalakau Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Bhagavata Krishna Kirtana Gana Kirtana Gana Nartana Paramu Prema Metamani Veera Veera Jana Priya Priya Karo Nima